Hi everybody, Ian Bremmer here around your world. In 180 seconds, I have your questions, as always, lined up on my phone, and we're ready to go. Number one, what does Putin mean when he says Europe will stand at the feet of the master? It means that he loves to troll his adversaries. Don't you remember when he said that he actually thought Biden would be a better president from Russia's perspective than Trump? It trolls. It's all misinformation. It's propaganda. It's all served to undermine and show that he's powerful and he can say whatever he wants. And, of course, he would love to see a fight between the Americans and their allies, whether it's the Nordics on Greenland, or it's Canada on 51st State, or it's Panama on the canal, or it's Europe on tariffs. And he wants to undermine the countries that he is that gets a divide and conquer kind of response from Putin. And that is what he is doing when he trolls the Europeans. Okay, what's next for Panama after deciding to exit China's Belt and Road Initiative? Well, certainly they are, of all the countries that are facing a deeply asymmetric relationship on the back of threats from President Trump, Panama is high on that list. And they really are trying to find a way to avoid tariffs and avoid the Americans squeezing them on the canal. And an easy way to do that, because they've heard this now directly from Trump and from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, is that the Chinese have too much influence over transit. And that is particularly true through these port facilities that a Hong Kong-based company, read China, is in charge of. And so they are opening investigations into the contract and into how they engage there. And they're also saying they'll pull out of Belt and Road. All of that is clearly going to upset and antagonize the Chinese. And I think that the Panamanians are very, very comfortable showing that they are going to orient much more towards the United States, given how much more they rely on the Americans. Finally, how would a potential Turkey defense pact with Syria reshape power dynamics in the Middle East? Given who's on the ground in Syria and the fact that the Americans are likely to pull out the over 2,000 troops they have there, and that Trump has said it's really up to Turkey to maintain that relationship. They were the ones that were closest to the rebels that ended up defeating, overthrowing Assad's regime. Not surprised at all that that is where the diplomacy is heading. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be stable, and it certainly doesn't mean that the Kurds on the ground are going to be handled well, and that will be what we need to watch carefully. But Turkey, a NATO ally that has a lot of influence across the region, and particularly now on the ground with Syria, I think that'll be relatively stable given the support from the United States. That's it for me, and I'll talk to y'all real soon.